Coming up on Sports Paws, we'll talk basketball, hockey, and football.
We have an interview with one Quinnipiac head coach, highlights from the NBA, NHL, and some NFL previews.
All that and much more coming up on Sports Paws right now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's finally that time of the year again. Sports Paws is back, but not as you remember it from last year.
Since we were last on, lots of things have happened. The MAC basketball tournament and ECAC hockey tournaments were canceled, professional sports were gone, and now are back, and Quinnipiac fall sports were postponed.
Obviously, things are different, like John said. We have masks. There's no Quinnipiac sports to currently cover, so we're going to be talking a little bit about pro sports for a bit on Sports Paws.
We're going to make sure all those things are intact, and like the big plan is just build things up. Right now, we've just been doing some shooting, some drill work, some skills and partners, but nothing live yet, nothing physical. And as a coach, you want to get back out and play 5-on-5. You want to throw your guys out there and scrimmage, and it's just not time for that yet. We're used to being in our office in the summers. We're used to being in here in the gym working with these guys. And to me, that's been in this offseason. I just missed being on the court, looking after our guys' development, building our relationship, our bond as a team. That's been the part that we've really missed. During a normal summer, this would be a great time for our older guys to really pass down knowledge to younger guys and, develop that leadership. I think we've done a really good job of staying connected, not only via Zoom, but those guys having genuine relationships one-on-one with some of our newer and younger guys. I think guys like Tyrese Williams and Jacob Rigoni, Jack Higgins, who's a walk-on, but he's a senior. He's been around our program for a long time. I think those guys have an understanding of the way we want to do things. They've they've welcomed new guys with open arms. So I think they've done a really good job with kind of what they can work with. It's not like we've had a lot of workouts, a lot of on-court experience yet, but they'll do a really good job. In my job, when you recruit 17, 18, 19-year-old young men, your pledge is to make them better basketball players and develop into students and the best people they can be. But as a part of that is, I think as a teacher and as a coach, you learn as much from them as hopefully they learn from you. So I really believe in that. And I think that's what this offseason has been about, whether it's the pandemic or social justice is are you willing to stretch yourself and learn? And I think some of the unfortunate conversations in our country are at their worst, are very one-sided, very blocking out other people's points of view. And I'm lucky that I get to be around these guys every day and learn from them.
That was Baker before the season's supposed to start, as he talked about how practices and social injustice during the summer happen as well. Turning from college hoops to the professionals, for the first time ever on Sports Balls, we have some professional highlights. We'll start with Game 3 of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals between the Heat and Celtics. As the Heat have a 2-0 series lead, will the Heat stay hot? We'll start here as Gordon Hayward, he came back from injury after getting injured in Game 1 against the 76ers. Here, Brown takes the steal, and he gets it over to Tatum for the slam dunk on the Heat as the Celtics keep the lead. Here's a rebound by Tatum. He'll throw the outlet over to Brown, and he'll slam it down too. Celtics with the big lead over to Marcus Smart. Smart into Brown. Slam dunk there. Look at that nice feed from Smart to Brown. And then here is the Heat. Celtics have always had leads in these games, but here Hayward returning, throwing to Tatum, slams it down. He takes a little fall, but look at that action there. None can't do anything about it as he took the fall there. Crowder getting hounded by Jaylen Brown. He gets it taken away, and Brown will go down and slam it away, as that will give the Celtics a 19-point lead here. Brown hounding Jay Crowder as well. Kemba on Duncan Robinson. Hezzy going past him all the way to the lane for the layup there, as Kemba takes the layup. Celtics up big, and they win 117-106, making the lead 2-1 Heat.
We've covered the Eastern Conference Final. Now let's jump to the Western Conference where LeBron James and the Lakers squared off against the Denver Nuggets. After taking Game 1 of the series, Los Angeles entered the game riding the momentum. It was a back-and-forth game the entire way, but it was the final 2.1 seconds that mattered the most. The Lakers inbounded from under the Denver hoop. Anthony Davis raced across the top of the arc and pulled up from the far wing, draining the game winner as time expired. Davis dropped 31 in the game, paired with LeBron's 26. The Lakers now lead the series 2-0 with Game 3 tomorrow night.
Sticking with hoops, the Connecticut Sun are in the WNBA semifinals playing the Las Vegas Aces and the MVP, A'ja Wilson. Let's see how they did in Game 1. Game 1, Connecticut Sun came out blazing, 87-62, as Jasmine Thomas, she led the way with 31 points, and Alyssa Thomas had 18. A'ja Wilson had 19 and 9 rebounds, but just was not enough. The real difference were the three-pointers, as the Sun had 42% threes made to the Aces 7%.
We're going to head to a quick commercial break, but coming up, we'll talk some collegiate sports, former Bobcats in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and then the NFL. We'll be right back.
One in three adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. I'm Joe Logrippo alongside John Surratt. As promised, we're going to start with the second half of collegiate sports. After previously being canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Big Ten college football season is back on. It will consist of an 8-game conference-only schedule starting on October 24th. And to nobody's surprise, the Ohio State Buckeyes are expected to take the conference crown again with 21-year-old Justin Fields at the helm. With Big Ten football back, the college football world now awaits an announcement from the MAC conference on whether or not they will take to the gridiron this year.
From the MAC or the MAC back to the NAAC, as when the conference decided to postpone all fall sports, they now have announced that fall sports will be played in the spring. This will include sports from soccer to field hockey, playing at the same time as baseball and lacrosse, as field hockey will start in February, along with men's and women's soccer and women's volleyball and cross country will start in January.
Sticking with postponed seasons, the NCAA men and women's hockey seasons and ECAC hockey have pushed back their starts due to the pandemic, with most conferences usually set to face off around the first week of October. Most conferences have thrown around a November 20th start date. However, ECAC hockey will not start till at least the start of 2021.
From college hockey to professional hockey, the chase for the Stanley Cup is in full swing as the Tampa Bay Lightning and Dallas Stars face off in the Cup final.
Let's roll the tape. It's been a grueling road for all teams throughout the NHL bubble, And now we have 2 remaining. Let's look at the bracket real quick. As you saw there, Tampa had not much difficulty getting to where they are today, as they were 12-4 before the Cup. And Dallas had a little bit of a tougher road, especially going to 7 games with the Avalanche. We saw local teams like the Islanders, Flyers, and Bruins make their runs, especially New York, who pushed the furthest but came up just short. Now that we've seen the road to the Stanley Cup Final, let's take a look at Game 1 versus Stars vs. Lightning. Like I said, Game 1, Stanley Cup Final, Dallas Stars taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lord Stanley's Cup in the building from the NHL bubble in Edmonton, Canada. Let's roll to the first period. Dallas will strike first in the first period as Joel Hanley gets a nice feed from Ruben Hintz and put the Stars up by 1 in the first period. Later in the first, Blake Coleman takes a slap shot from the point, and Yanni Gerard redirects it with a skate to tie it at 1. 7:28 left in the first period. We're going to take it to the second period now. Game still tied at 1. Jamie Oleksiak gets his own rebound and roofs it. Stars up 2-1. Later in the second, less than 30 seconds left. Another rebound shot from the Stars. This time, it's Joel Kivalenta giving the Stars a 2-goal lead. 3-1 Dallas. Third period. This one will be all Stars, empty net. Jason Dickinson puts this one away. Stars take Game 1 with a score of 4-1.
With the NHL playoffs ending soon, we wanted to highlight some of the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey alums that showed out in the postseason this year. Devin Taves and the New York Islanders made it all the way to a Game 7 against the Tampa Bay Lightning, where in the series he finished with a goal and an assist. Connor Clifton and the Boston Bruins, who made the Stanley Cup Finals last year, just couldn't find that magic, ultimately losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games, but Clifton did have an assist in the series. A few other notable names that were on the reserves in the bubble are Chase Prisky of Florida Panthers, Brogan Rafferty of the Vancouver Canucks, and Sam Annis of the Minnesota Wild.
From the ice to the hash marks, let's throw it over to the NFL and take a look at the standings through 2 weeks. As you can see, the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray sit atop the NFC right now. He's looked real good in his second year, and you got Green Bay Packers sitting in second. Aaron Rodgers has been playing with a little bit of fire underneath him as they drafted Jordan Love, a quarterback, in the first round. And then, surprisingly, the Washington football team leads the NFC East right now, currently tied with the Dallas Cowboys, and they round out 7 and 8. We've covered week 2. Now let's run to week 3. And before we do that, let's go to the AFC and check out their standings. No surprise, the Baltimore Ravens sit atop with the Chiefs. They are both 2-0 on the season. Tennessee right behind them in third. Buffalo Bills in fourth. Their defense, and speaking of defenses, the Steelers sit in fifth. And to the surprise of many, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been keeping out there.
Yeah, definitely in the AFC South. Jags are staying there. We've covered, now we'll go on to the upcoming games in the pros as we look at, we'll look at the upcoming NFL schedule as early Sunday game. We'll have the Texans and the Steelers, with 1 p.m. And then at Sunday Night Football, we'll have the Packers against the Saints. And then the Sunday night late game, we'll have the Cowboys and Seahawks. And Monday night, we'll have the Chiefs and Ravens.
I know you're looking forward to that Chiefs-Ravens game as we all are.
Oh, definitely.
Should be a shootout with those offenses.
Now we wanted to look at the upcoming games for the pros in the current area. So we'll look at the New York area first, as we have an AL East showdown of the scorching hot Bronx Bombers, New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays, and then the Mets against the first place Tampa Bay Rays. And then on Sunday, we have the New York Giants against the banged up San Francisco 49ers, with the Jets facing the Colts on Sunday as well. Moving over to the New England and Connecticut area, we have the Patriots and the Raiders setting off on Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow we have the Red Sox and Orioles, with the Heat and Celtics facing on Wednesday, as well as the Connecticut Sun and Las Vegas Aces playing on Tuesday as well. And of course, we have to end with top five. Oh, wait, never
Wait.
mind. That's just the show.
I've had a blast tonight. It's our first show together, and as former EPs of Sports Pod, the show is definitely headed in the right direction. But make sure you guys visit our website, q30tv.com. Follow us on Twitter at Q30Sports and at Q30 Television. And download our brand new app on the App Store. Just search Q30 Television, download it, give it a check out to keep up with the latest Q30 content. For John Surratt, I'm Joe Logrippo. See you next Monday night.